Barakatuh. Welcome you again to tonight's class of our Madrasatul Mumtiaz free Nahwu and Sarfu class. And today we are going to Nahwu lesson 35. Nahwu lesson 35, and our topic for lesson 36. And our topic for today is what is Harful Jarri, the genitive particle. The genitive particle. So previously we talked about in our Khawatuha. Now we're going on to Harful Jarri, the genitive particle, and we are still on our book, on our textbook, the An-Nahwu al-Wadih. So let's start from the Qaida, which is the principle or definition of Harful Jarri. So what is Harful Jarri? Yujarru al-ismu idha sabaqahu harfun min hurufil jarri. They said so what we are being told is that an ismu or a noun will become jarru. It will go into the genitive case, so it will become majrur. It will become majrur whenever any of the harful jarri comes before it. Where does the word majrur come from? It comes from jarro, which is a fi'l madi, jarro. So if you remember our sorrowful lessons, we are taught that what jarro, yajuru, jarun, and what majrurun. So majrur is what? It's something that jaru has affected. It's ismu maf'ul. So automatically it also means that these things that we call huruful jar, which huruf is the plural of harf. So harfu jar, a genitive particle. Huruful jar, the genitive particles. So they are also called what? Al-jaru. That is something that creates the genitive case. So they are also called what? Al-jaru. So we can call them harful jar or jaru. So min hurufil jari atiyati wa hiya min wa ila wa an wa ala wa fi wal ba'u wal lam. So we are giving some examples of huruful jar. One of them is min, we have ila, we have an, we have ala, we have fi, we have al-ba'u, and we have al-lam. So these are examples of what? Of huruful jarri. And whenever any of these huruf comes before an ismu, then that ismu is going to take what? Is going to take a jar. It's going to become majrur. And in most cases, majrur is shown by what? Is shown by kasra. So let's look at the examples of where harful jarri is acting. So for example, our example number 1, we have min, which means from. So nazala al-mataru min as-samai, the rain fell. Nazala al-mataru min as-samai, the rain fell. In the nominative case, which is in raf'un case, in the normal default case of an ismu, it should have been as-sama'u. But now that it has jarri, now because of the min that comes before it, it becomes as-sama'i. Because of so we call that what? Al-jaru wal-majrur. We can call it al-jaru wal-majrur. So our al-jar here is what? Min, and our majrur is as-sama'i. Another example: ya'ti samaku min al-bahri. Ya'ti samaku min al-bahri. The fish comes what? Comes from the sea. Fish comes from the sea. So min al-bahri. So our harf al-jarri here is what? Min, and our majrur is al-bahr. Al-bahr. So it becomes al-bahri. So our jaru is what? Min, and our majrur is bahr. So from the sea. So we go on to the next harful jarri. We have what? Sa'a. Sa'a al-jayshu ila al-maydan. Sa'a al-jayshu min al-maydan. The army ran from the field. So they ran away from the battlefield. So Sa'a al-jayshu ila al-maydan. Sorry, ila means to. So they ran to the field. So the army ran to the field. Sa'a al-jayshu ila al-maydan. So it would have been al-maydanu. But because of ila that comes before the maydan, it becomes what? It becomes majrur, and it takes kasra. So saratil mashiyatu ila al-haqli. Saratil mashiyatu ila al-haqli. So saratil mashiya, so the animals, the livestock, they walked ila al-haqli, they moved to the field. So al-haqli, so al-haqlu would have been the nominative case, which is in the raf'u case, but because of the ila that comes before the al-haql, it now takes what? It takes kasra, al-haqli, so it becomes what? It becomes majrur and takes what? Kasra. So look at the next example. Yanzilu al-jundiyu anil hisan, yanzil jundiyu anil hisan. The jundi fell from what? From the hisan, from the horse. Hisan, so hisan is taking majrur because of what? Because of the ain that comes before it, because of the ain that comes before it. Yadhhabu al-khawfu an tifli, so ain usually means something like away or from, so yadhhabu al-khawfu an tifli, so the fear went away from the child. So ain and what? Atiflu, so atiflu is the nominative case, that is the raf'u case, but because we have an harfu jarri, which is ain, coming before the tifl, it now becomes what? It now takes kasra because it is now majrur. So yadhhabu al-khawfu an tifli, the fear went away from the child, so the child stopped being scared because the fear went away from it. So the next one is what? Yatful, so that is ain for us, and the next one is what? Yatful khoshabu ala al-ma'i, yatful khoshabu ala al-ma'i, the wood floated upon the water, the wood floated upon the water, over or on the water. So ala usually means on or over, so ala al-ma'i, so al-ma'u, that is our raf'u case, but because of ala, which is an harful jarri, coming before the ma, it becomes what? Ala al-ma'i, so ala al-ma'i, so our jarru is ala and our majrur is what? Al-ma'i. So the next one is what? Yaskutu thamaru ala al-ardi, yaskutu thamaru ala al-ardi, the fruit fell on the earth, on the earth. The fruit, what? It fell from the tree, okay, they didn't tell us it fell from the tree, but they tell us that what? Ala al-ardi, it fell on the earth. So ala comes from what? Ala means ala on, so ala is our jaru and our majrur is what? Al-ardi, so ala al-ardi are what? Jaru wal majrur. So the next harful jarri we have here is what? Fi usually means in, so yanbahul kalbu fil bustan, yanbahul kalbu fil bustan, the dog barked in the garden, the dog barked in the garden. So yanbahu, so when a dog barks, that is what we call nabaha. So fil bustan, in the garden, so it would have been al bustanu, but because we have an harfu jarri, in this case fa'u coming before the fi coming before the bustan, it now takes what? Jarru, it takes kasra because it is now majrur. So dakhala al-mujrimu fi sijni, dakhala al-mujrimu fi sijni, the criminal entered into the jail, the criminal entered into the jail. So the criminal entered into the jail fi sijni. So our harfu jarri or our al-jarru is what? Fi, and our majrur is what? As-sijni. So it would have been as-sijnu in the nominative case, in the raf'u case, but because of the harfu jarri coming before it, it now takes what? It takes kasra and it becomes fi sijni. Next we have qashartul fakihata bisikin, qashartul fakihata bisikin, I peeled the fruit with the knife, I peeled the fruit with the knife. So bi usually means what? With. So bisikin, so as-sikin is what? Knife. So as-sikinu in its raf'u case, but because of the harfu jarri, in this case al-ba'u that is coming before the sikin, it now takes what? It takes jarru and it becomes majrur, and it now has what? It now has kasra. Next is what? Yataqatalul junudu bisuyufi, the armies fought with what? They fought with swords. They fought with swords. So our harfu jarri here is what? Ba. So we have B, and our majrur is what? As-suyufi. As-suyufi. So because we have, it would have been as-suyufu, but because we have an harfu jarri coming before this noun, it now becomes bisuyufi. Bisuyufi. So anytime I have an harfu jarri coming before an ismu, the ismu will take jarru. So now our final two examples: al-jaizatu lis-sabiq. Al-jaizatu lis-sabiq. The prize goes to the first, or the winner of the first person, the first, that's the leader. So the prize goes to what? The leader. Li-sabiq. So li usually has about the same meaning with ila, although in some cases it has some other usages that ila does not have, but it usually means to. It usually means what? It usually means to. So al-jaizatu lis-sabiq. The prize is for the first person. It's for the sabiq. So and our sabiq is asabiqu. It's more fine. So have been asabiqu, but because we have li before it, it becomes what? Sabiqi. It becomes majrur. So our jaru is lam, and our majrur is what? Sabiq. Now our final one is what? Ishtaraitu kuflan lil khizana. Ishtaraitu kuflan lil khizana. I bought a padlock. I bought a lock for what? For lil khizana, for the wardrobe. So lil khizana, I bought a lock for the wardrobe. So ishtaraitu kuflan li to 4. So in this case, li actually means 4. In this case, lil khizana, I bought kuflan for the cupboard. So that is another example of lil khizanati. So it's al khizanatu, but because of the jaru coming before the khizana, it now becomes majrur, and it takes what? It takes kasro. So that for a basic explanation for the huruful jarri. So we should try and learn this huruful jarri and know them by heart: min, ila, ain, ala, fi, al-ba'u, and al-lamu. So we also have another harfu jarri that is not mentioned here, kafu tashbih. We call it kafu tashbih, which is what? When we have a kaf that is used to show likeness, is used to show similarity. So those are some huruful jarri. We actually have more huruful jarri, but these are the most common ones that you would come across as you study. And so we are going to stay with that at this level, inshallah. So in our next class, inshallah, we are going to go further in our explanation of huruful jarri. So we've come to the end of today's lecture. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand this better than we have explained it, and make it a beneficial knowledge for us. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.